Hello everyone, welcome to Jamaica 411. Thank you so much for stopping by. Remember to subscribe, like and share, and please leave your comments. Thank you so much if you're rejoining me. If you're here for the first time, thank you for joining us. So I have a bit of news for you. It is a press release from the Integrity Commission, came out this morning, and it is to advise the public. I'm going to read it for you, and then I'm going to give you some information which you may find helpful. So according to this press release from the Integrity Commission, it says, as a caption, for immediate release, Integrity Commission submits 5 investigation reports and Director of Corruption Prosecutions indicative rulings to Parliament for tabling. It's dated April 16, 2024, and it says, in keeping with its previously made commitment, the Integrity Commission wishes to notify the public that it has today submitted to Parliament 5 reports of investigation together with associated indicative rulings from the Commission's Director of Corruption Prosecution. The documents were formally received and signed for at the Parliament at 11:22 this morning. It continues. Hard copies of the referenced investigation reports were submitted in separate envelopes on the cover of identical letters addressed to the following officials. 1. The Most Honorable Juliet Holness, MP, Speaker of the House of Representatives. 2. Senator the Honorable Tom Tavares Finson, OJCD KCJP, President of the Senate. 3. Ms. Colleen Lowe, Clerk to the Houses of Parliament. The indicative rulings were also similarly addressed and submitted in separate envelopes. A USB flash drive with PDF electronic copies of all documentation submitted was also conveyed. The Integrity Commission anticipates that its investigation reports, which were submitted pursuant to and in conformance with Section 54 of the Integrity Commission Act, together with the associated indicative rulings, will be tabled in both Houses of Parliament as soon as possible. Section 54(4) of the Integrity Commission Act provides that, and it's quoting now, where the report from the Director of Investigation to the Commission has a recommendation under Section 3, the Commission shall submit it to Parliament for tabling, and that ends the communications. And the contact person and the department and so on was mentioned. So now it seems as if we're getting down to some exciting moments. Now let me explain how the process works now. And I'm going to repair to that Section 54 that they submitted the reports under so that we can see what's going on. But in the meantime, let me tell you this. Once that document is tabled, I can then dash over to the Integrity Commission's website where the document will be uploaded. So the parliamentarians will get to see, and so will we, who the investigations were about, because they're only telling us that they were investigation reports and that the prosecutor has made a ruling as to whether or not the person should be charged or not, is what that is about. So let's hope we don't get any rigmarole around the world and whole heap of arguments about the tabling of the documents. And we will have it soon. So I'll be watching this one for you and bringing you blow by blow once the report is uploaded to the Integrity Commission's website. Now let me go to Section 54, where they said that they submitted the reports in accordance with Section 54 of the Integrity Commission's Act. So let me go and look and see what that says, and then we will know what kind of report it is. So here we are. This is Section 54 of the Integrity Commission Act 2017, And as you can see, this section deals with the findings of the Director of Investigation. And it says here at 54.1, on completion of an investigation, the Director of Investigation shall prepare and submit to the Commission, through the Executive Director, a report of his findings and recommendations. Where, during the course of an investigation, the Director of Investigation is satisfied that there are insufficient grounds for continuing an investigation, he shall terminate the investigation and issue a report of his findings to the Commission through the Executive Director. Whereupon completion of investigation, the Director of Investigation is satisfied that there are reasonable grounds for suspecting that there has been a breach of any code of conduct by a public official or parliamentarian, the Director of Investigation shall, in his report to the Commission, 1. In the case of a public official, recommend to the Commission that the matter be referred to the relevant public body for appropriate action. Or 2. In the case of a parliamentarian, recommend to the Commission that the matter be referred to the Speaker of the House of Representatives or the President of the Senate, as the case may require, for appropriate action. So what is this saying? It's saying basically, once the Director of Investigation is conducting an investigation, at the end of it, at the conclusion of the investigations, he's to submit a report to the Commission. And he has two decisions to make. First, he has to decide whether or not there is sufficient grounds for continuing with the investigation. If there is none, meaning that he has no evidence on which to proceed, then he's to terminate the investigations and write a report to the Commission, which he must send through the Executive Director. That's the first thing. But on the other hand, if he finds that there is grounds for suspecting that there was a breach of conduct or an act of corruption, then it says what he's supposed to do. In the case of the breach of conduct, he is to report the matter to the Commission. And then the matter will then go to either the Speaker of the House or the Senate if it's a parliamentarian. But if it's a public official, that report will go to the public body for them to take the appropriate action, because this now is a code of conduct. When it comes to corruption now, we're going to read what the Act says the Director of Investigation should do. So at B it says, an act of corruption or an offense under this Act has been committed, the Director of Investigation shall, in his report to the Commission, recommend that the matter be referred to the Director of Corruption Prosecution, who may take such action as may be deemed appropriate. So you understand what is happening here now? It is saying that these reports that the Integrity Commission has sent to the Speaker this morning, the two Speakers of the Houses, to be tabled, involve investigations that were done by the Director of Investigations. And they said that there is also an attached report as to what the determination of the Director of Corruption Prosecutions made, the rulings made in terms of these investigations that were done. In other words, the Director of Investigation has recommended to the Director of Corruption Prosecution that the persons mentioned should be prosecuted. And the Director of Corruption Prosecution made a ruling based upon that recommendation. So I guess we are now for an exciting time. Remember now, we don't know though if these are parliamentarians or public officials who were being investigated. So when the reports are tabled, we rush to the Integrity Commission website so that we can have a look at it ourselves and then see who are these persons that were prosecuted. These long-awaited 13 parliamentarians who are being investigated for either illicit enrichment or who made false statements on their statutory declarations. So we just have to wait. Let me read now what number 4 says. And just a reminder, you recall that in the press release, the Integrity Commission referred to Section 54, subsection 4. So this is the section now that I'm going to read for you now, subsection 4, so we can know what it is that they are saying. So this is basically saying where there is a report on the section 3. Now, subsection 3 is what is referring to the completion of the investigation, and the director of investigation is satisfied that there's reasonable grounds to prosecute for corruption or breach of conduct. That's what it's referring to. And it says where the report to the commission has a recommendation under subsection 3, and it's now saying what the commission should do. The commission shall submit to the Parliament for tabling, excluding such matter as the director of corruption prosecution regards as likely to prejudice the prosecution of any proceedings in relation to matters referred in the report. So it is saying that anything at all that may prejudice the case, the director of corruption prosecution will leave that out of the report. So that's what that is saying. But we are living in interesting times, so we await patiently for the tabling of the reports. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me and being so patient as usual. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing and liking and commenting. Until next time, when I have something else interesting for you, all good.